Hello! I decided to make this kind of studio vlog video update video to keep you a bit in touch about what I am doing, and especially to tell you that I am working really hard on the sketchbook cover tutorial. For some reason it took 3 days to shoot, and I have hours and hours of footage with 2 cameras, quite a lot of work for editing, so I realized that I wouldn't be able to share it with you this week. Hopefully it will be ready on Monday, I hope so, finger crossed, trying to work hard on it. And I am taking the chance to share a few more things with you in this video, like me preparing a little additional palettes for myself and a bit of an unboxing of creative stuff, this kind of thing. So I hope you will like this kind of casual video as well. Let's have a glimpse in this sketchbook cover tutorial. I'm going to make a cover for my India sketchbook, a monster like this one. I have quite a lot of things left from my traveling in India, newspaper, book pages. This was a bag with some lace thing, and I decided to tear it apart to keep this part so I could use this on my cover too. Pieces of maps, leaflets, everything. And I also bought this wonderful, lovely paper in India in a shop in Delhi. I will probably maybe tear a few pieces to get a bit of color on my sketchbook too, and having this wonderful texture on the sketchbook. For the spine you really don't want a too big piece of cardboard. I will not show you the cover of the Indian sketchbook at the beginning of the video so that you can have the surprise at the end. I'm going to have the surprise too, I don't know yet how it's going to look like. That's what is so wonderful with creativity, that's because everything is always a surprise. Check if your other side didn't move too much. And then I tend to cut my tape with my mouth. My mouth is a bit of my third hand. You can try it on your sketchbook if you like, just to see how it goes. And the reason why you don't want to tape the pieces too tight, if you do this, your cover is going to be stuck that way and you won't be able to open your sketchbook like that. One of my pro tips, I guess. I am dressed with sunlight today. I look like a fairy. And that way you also have the side that is covered. Yeah, I need to put more glue in here. Sometimes I just don't mind putting it upside down. Yeah, I think I like it. So the bill, I like the animals on it, and the other side it's Mahatma Gandhi, so that's really wonderful too. But I think the animals are quite nice for the spirit of the sketchbook. I would say that this one is more a pastel color, and it could be okay with the flower in here, but maybe a bit more girly. I would maybe prefer using the brighter ones. I hope this is going to be a really exciting video. So as I said, I am working hard on it, and I know as well that if it's a bit late, that's also because I am working on some exciting things. I can think about at least 3 really exciting things to come in the next few weeks and months, so I guess there is a bit for a good cause as well. What if we take a look now at this little additional palette with quite a lot of opaque once again? So I just decided that I absolutely needed some cadmium yellow orange to paint the color on my big teacup. teacup because that's just the perfect color. I have been in my mind for a few days or weeks now that I would like to make for myself a sort of additional palette with a few more colors just to try them out and having a bit more choices. So I bought this little adorable box in Iceland. In fact, it was sold at Tiger, and I think it's just so lovely, so nice. And I quite struggled before leaving for my big trip last year to find some kind of little metal sweet box in France. So as soon as I saw this one, I just thought I definitely want to buy it. Add an adorable palette, and so this can fit 6 pans. I just have a few dirty old pans left, but I'm going to figure out and to use them. I think it will be quite okay. So 6 pans, and I just worked on my choice of additional color. So some of color I don't have currently in my palette, so we are going to have, along with the cadmium yellow orange, a cadmium lemon yellow. I want to add a bit more opaque because sometimes it's just really nice to have a pop of this opaque lemon yellow just at the top as a detail. And I wanted to try again the pyrrole orange, which is also so powerful and also a bit opaque. So that's interesting for me to try to use it more. So quite a lot of warm color. I will try again one more warm color, which is Venetian red. So it's a kind of brownish red, and it's opaque too, and people say that sometimes it creates some nice effect and granulation, so I would like to try it again. And along with it I will add some cascade green because a lot of you recommend me to use it, and I have it. I thought I would add it again. And also some cerulean blue because that's a color I really like, sometimes a bit weak. So in fact there is a cerulean blue and the cerulean blue chromium. I'm always hesitating between the two. This one is sometimes a bit too weak, but that's just the perfect hue for me, so quite a warm blue. And the other one makes some nice granulation, and it's stronger, but it's slightly too cool for me. And except for my turquoise, I usually like the warmer blue, like French ultramarine or this cerulean blue. So for now I am going to pick the normal cerulean blue, and I will see if I make the change. So I don't even know if I will have time to paint my teacup tonight because of all this mess, but I am going to make the little cute palette right now. So there is already some pyrrole orange in it. Let's make a bit of unboxing now, creative stuff. I ordered some paper, paint, a brush and a book. Everything to be happy for the painter. So. Okay, so one after another. Let's start with this one. Where are my scissors? This was not planned, but fun. Maybe there is nothing else than this paper. But where is my order? Hey! Here it is! So, I received some empty pans, not always so easy to find. A bit too late for my additional palette, but useful for the next one. Let's wipe out a bit of paint to be sure not to have some lackings. And I bought big tubes of green turquoise by Sennelier. And I had almost no purple left. And another box with a tube of French ultramarine by Daniel Smith. I buy the Daniel Smith one because I prefer the color is warmer, and now you know that I usually prefer the warmer blues, whereas the Sennelier French ultramarine is slightly cooler, so depending on your taste. And probably the Daniel Smith creates more granulations too. So, pans, paint, and paper! So this is a paper I like to use when I don't use watercolor paper, so to write on my sketchbook or making some ink sketches and everything. So that's the Clairefontaine 160 grams, good quality. And so by buying this A3 size, I can fold this in half to create the sketchbook size I am using currently. But for some reason, I will explain a bit more later, this too. This is probably going to include quite a lot of paper too. Woohoo! Unboxing time! Dum, dum, dum. Okay. So I think this is a piece of art, could be framed at a contemporary art exhibition. I like the wrinkles and the texture of the art and everything. Nonsense. I like to say nonsense sometimes. I hope you don't mind. And so this is the same paper, Clairefontaine. I am checking if they sent me the right product. Clairefontaine 160 grams paper, but in a bigger size. So no, I didn't plan to make such a big sketchbook like that, but some of you may know that I also like sometimes to work on landscape orientation, and I decided for me finally to make my sketchbook horizontal. So I needed some paper like that so that I can cut it this direction and having a folding in here and creating an horizontal sketchbook with it. It's going to be quite interesting to see which kind of setting I end up with, you know, including a bit more text like I do these days with the gratitude or the trackers or everything. I know that with this orientation I can work horizontally or vertically, or, you know, putting the sketchbook a different way, so it's going to be quite interesting. And now, smaller one, but quite an exciting one too. Oh, this is not so much protected. My brush is just like that in the cardboard. I hope the brush is not damaged. I'm going to pick a jar of water. I'm going to dip my brush, hoping that it's in good shape despite the bad delivery. I feel the brush bend it a bit during the bad delivery in the envelope, but it will be probably good. I will try to use it for a few days and I will figure out if I have to send it back. Oh, I was not expecting just to get a brush like that without any, you know, this little plastic cap they put sometimes, or any things to wrap. Even my paint tube, they are nicely in some boxes, and that's not the same seller, but whatever. And this brush was just tucked in this just the right size cardboard. That's so surprising. So, but sorry, I am a bit surprised by it, but whatever. I am really happy. I ordered the new Winsor Newton pointed round size 7 because I thought I really damaged mine a bit too much, and I wanted to have a new one with this lovely point. I'm going to wet my previous one, which is not the first one I buy. And I think you are really going to tell the difference, because I can right away tell that this is so different. So my brush is also darker, probably because of the use, and I am not maybe the best at sometimes washing them really well. So you can see that the point is quite different, even if it doesn't seem so much a big difference. Maybe for you, I don't know what you think, but for me this little pointy thing are really important. So my idea is keeping the two brushes in my case, probably putting a bit of colorful tape on one of them to be sure not to mess up between the two, and keep using this one for a lot of use while my paint are not so moist, and I maybe can damage it by scrubbing the paint, or to put some more pigment wet in wet or whatever, and just using this as soon as I need it for calligraphic marks and details, but trying to be more careful with it. So that's the idea. Happy painter! And so for some people asking about why the end of this brush is like that. So finally it's not really useful. I showed you the scraping in the urban sketch demo, and this is wood, and it's not the same, it's not as good for scraping as plastic. So finally I don't use a point, but this brush is a bit too long if I show you with a new one for my homemade brush case. So I had to cut it, unfortunately, so that it can fit in it, but cutting a brush with a sort of blade or knife is really difficult, so I finally figured out that the easier way to shorten the brush was to use a sharpener, a pencil sharpener, so that's why it has this kind of weird shape. At the end you can just a bit of damage the point so that it's not too pointy and you are not going to hurt yourself with it. So that's a bit of the reason and explanation for this. So this one is going to have a bit of the same feature, just to have it slightly shorter. And last but not least, this arrived just 10 minutes ago in my mailbox, just in time. Really excited about it too. Ooh. Dun, dun, dun. Here it is. Shiny book. Hey, you saw it before me. Wow, just so amazing. So let me browse it. Wow. Yeah, that was my impression when I saw the preview of the book and everything. How big and enjoyable the sketches are. So I should tell you, for those that are not aware about it, that's a direct watercolor new book by my friend and so talented painter Marc Taro Holmes, and I think this is going to deserve a review. Yeah, the paper quality seems really good, and I like how he put so much big watercolors in the book. I am sure the explanations are going to be really good too, because if you know Marc blogs, which is called Citizen Sketcher, you know how much he likes to explain and how good he is at it. So it's going to be really interesting to have his insights about watercolor. It's going to be really enjoyable just to look at it and to be inspired and getting the information and everything. So excited! Plus I was there when Marc painted quite a few pieces in here, like I was in Montreal with him when he painted this one, and I was with him in Algarve, Portugal too, when he painted this. I think I still have a few exclusive shots of him painting this kind of wonderful scenes with turquoise water and everything. Probably I could include them in the review, even if it's not the exact same painting. But, whoa, review with exclusive demo content. I like this idea. Just came in my mind just now. Oh, and this is a painting he did in Manchester, and you can see him paint quite a lot of this sketch in one of my videos about the Manchester Symposium. I will put the link out there so that if you want to watch him paint this, you can watch the video. I hope you can see it well enough despite the reflection. So this was the exciting end of this quite a funny and epic and hopefully interesting unboxing. Hopefully you liked these few sharings. Please tell me if you like this kind of casual style vlog video as well. And I am also thinking about making some kind of more chatty videos sometimes, talking about art and creativity and life, so it could be nice to have your feedback about this idea too. And now I am telling you, see you for the sketchbook cover tutorial. I wish you a wonderful, happy weekend, be creative, have fun, and see you!